This is the United States Military Academy. This is Army West Point Athletics on YouTube. Good evening, everybody. I'm Nikolai Busko. Welcome to Shea Stadium. Yes, we have every intention of streaming a match this evening between the Army West Point men's rugby program and the program from Trinity College Dublin. Unfortunately, there's only so much that we can control. If you live in the area or have been following it closely, yes, we've had a crazy day of weather, and just as I thought we were going to a 7 o'clock Eastern time kickoff, there was another lightning strike. For those who do not understand the protocol, it is to be a wait of at least 30 minutes. If you followed the Army Air Force women's soccer game last night, you may recall that there was a 90-minute delay because of weather. That game did not finish until approximately 10 o'clock. So here's the story. We are doing everything we can, at least the officials are, those who are involved, those who make this decision, are doing everything they can to ensure this game does get completed. The problem is we don't have a whole lot of wiggle room. As you may know, there is the first home football game tomorrow at Mikey Stadium between Army and Delaware State. That game starts at noon. For those who are from Ireland who may not be aware of this, no NCAA FBS member depends more on football than the U.S. Military Academy. So it's a very big deal. It is important. So the prospect of playing the game tomorrow morning, for example, I said 9 a.m., that will not happen. The people from Trinity College have said that they are leaving to go back home to Ireland on Sunday, but it is very highly unlikely that there will be a match that these two teams can play tomorrow because the Army women's team plays Dartmouth in their home opener at Anderson Rugby Complex. Next question, Nick. Why are we at Shea Stadium where the Sprint football team plays? That's because the deluge from earlier this afternoon made, at least for the moment, Anderson Rugby Complex's Warrior Field unplayable. You may recall that some heroic action was taken by some of the cadets on the men's team, the coaches, some other people to preserve the game field, Warrior Field, when we had that millennial flood back in July. Unfortunately, the turf field was ruined, and while it looks like you could play on it, they're clearly not going to do that. That will be ripped up at some point. So that's why we're here at Shea, because this field is in better condition at the moment. There is a slight window for later this evening. I heard somewhere 9 o'clock might be the latest that we start that. So that's 9 o'clock Eastern. If I do the math quickly, that would be 2 in the morning, Irish summertime. That would be, I think, the latest we can go, which would mean the match would end at 11. That would be 4 a.m. Irish summertime. But right now there's a lot that we don't know. What we do know is that the game operations people and other administrators on site are making every reasonable attempt to play this game. You're very fortunate if you get Trinity College Dublin, the oldest rugby program in the world, to come here. And for Army, it's happened now twice in the last 4 years. So this is more rare than the ice hockey team here at West Point playing the Royal Military College of Canada. And I don't know if the camera is picking this up, but it has started to rain again. The radar that I see shows there will be some precipitation for the foreseeable future, but there will be an opening. There will be some time where they can get this game in without interruption. Army and Trinity College Dublin are making every attempt to get this game in tonight. The best thing that I can tell you right now, that if this is played, we'll be streaming for those overseas that will be able to rewatch on YouTube if you can't watch it live. Ryan Panny, the Assistant Director for Live Events at Army West Point Athletics, has just informed me that this match will be archived. And I know it's already late. It's coming up on the stroke of midnight in Ireland, so we're grateful for those of you who are over across the pond waiting to see what's going to happen here. But it is raining cats and dogs right now. And I think that the officials and all involved are going to wait and see if we can get a 2-hour window to have the match played in its entirety uninterrupted. So just to pass along that final note before we take another bit of a break, if we are not able to stream this match live, or especially if you are in Ireland and you cannot stay up to watch it, we will archive it here on the YouTube channel for Army West Point Athletics. It will be on this stream. You'll be able to pick it up. You're not off. You'll be able to pick it up when you get up in the morning. So for now, we're going to take another break, and we'll come back when we have more information. I'll try to give you as much information that I can. Please be patient. We thank you for being patient. I know it's tough to ask, but continue to be patient. You are watching here from Shea Stadium, Army and Trinity College Dublin trying to play a rugby match here tonight on YouTube.
So yeah, USAA, they always have my back.
USAA? You were in the military?
Oh no, I wasn't, but my grandpa was. He joined USAA, passed membership to my mom, then to me.
There's other ways to get in?
Yeah, my neighbor Ron, he's in because his wife served. Even little Luna, once she's born, her dad served.
So all this time I could have had USAA insurance.
And banking.
Where's my phone?
Over there.
USAA, for the military community and their families.
When pain wants to keep you on the sidelines, know you have options to keep you doing what you love. As one of the world's leading medical technology companies, Stryker offers innovative foot and ankle products that help you get back in the game and on your feet. Stryker and Army West Point Athletics have joined forces to help you learn more about foot and ankle pain and provide you resources so you can find a specialist in your area. Visit Stryker.com/WestPoint to learn more.
Attention veterans. You can shop tax-free for life. Come home to your military exchanges for tax-free shopping, exclusive pricing, and free shipping options. 100% of earnings go back to military communities, keeping today's military ready and resilient. You served. You sacrificed. You earned this benefit. Visit shopmyexchange.com/vets to shop and save today.
At the United States Military Academy, you're on the team from day one.
A team where people are the #1 priority and winning matters.
A team of scholars, athletes, and leaders, each striving to become all that they can be.
Are you ready to join our team?
West Point, where leaders are made.
USAA? Yeah, they have awesome rates on coverage for our car, home, and stuff. She has a lot of stuff.
Dad.
A lot of cool stuff, honey. But USAA also has banking, credit cards, and loans. Plus advice and other perks.
Only for emergencies. Thanks, Mom.
And it's all in one spot. So we know she's all set because we've got USAA.
USAA, more than you might think, for the military community and their families.
He may not turn out to be a black belt or play Carnegie Hall.
He'll take the chicken fingers.
But with the money you earn from your PenFed checking and savings accounts,
He's growing up. Look at him.
your goal of supporting his dreams will always be worth it.
I got it.
PenFed's got great rates for everyone.
Yeah, USAA. They always have my back.
USAA? You were in the military?
Oh no, I wasn't, but my grandpa was. He joined USAA, passed membership to my mom, then to me.
There's other ways to get in?
Yeah. My neighbor Ron, he's in because his wife served. Even little Luna, once she's born, her dad served.
So all this time I could have had USAA insurance.
And banking.
Where's my phone?
Over there.
USAA, for the military community and their families.
When pain wants to keep you on the sidelines, know you have options to keep you doing what you love. As one of the world's leading medical technology companies, Stryker offers innovative foot and ankle products that help you get back in the game and on your feet. Stryker and Army West Point Athletics have joined forces to help you learn more about foot and ankle pain and provide you resources so you can find a specialist in your area. Visit Stryker.com/WestPoint to learn more.
Attention veterans. You can shop tax-free for life. Come home to your military exchanges for tax-free shopping, exclusive pricing, and free shipping options. 100% of earnings go back to military communities, keeping today's military ready and resilient. You served. You sacrificed. You earned this benefit. Visit shopmyexchange.com/vets to shop and save today.
At the United States Military Academy, you're on the team from day one.
A team where people are the #1 priority and winning matters.
A team of scholars, athletes, and leaders, each striving to become all that they can be.
Are you ready to join our team?
West Point, where leaders are made.
USAA? Yeah. They have awesome rates on coverage for our car, home, and stuff. She has a lot of stuff.
Dad.
A lot of cool stuff, honey. But USAA also has banking, credit cards, and loans. Plus advice and other perks.
Only for emergencies.
Thanks, Mom.
And it's all in one spot. So we know she's all set because we've got USAA.
USAA, more than you might think, for the military community and their families.
He may not turn out to be a black belt or play Carnegie Hall,
He'll take the chicken fingers.
but with the money you earn from your PenFed checking and savings accounts,
He's growing up. Look at him.
your goal of supporting his dreams will always be worth it.
I got it.
PenFed's got great rates for everyone.
This is the United States Military Academy. This, after a 3-hour delay because of weather, is Army West Point Athletics coverage on YouTube of this tremendous rugby opportunity. The Black Knights men's varsity team taking on Trinity College Dublin. Good evening, everybody. I'm Nikolai Busco. Thank you for your patience. To borrow a line from Bruce Buffer, it's time. Army and Trinity College Dublin getting ready to begin this match of all matches. Army's journey starting tonight. Program went 13-8 overall last season, 7-1 at home, although we're not in the home ground of Anderson Rugby Complex. The winner has forced this match take place at Shea Stadium. The Black Knights placing third to the CRAA Rugby, 7th in the spring, losing 3 times to Navy last year, including the quarterfinals of the USA Rugby D1 National Playoffs. They'd won the national championship in 2021 by beating Life, Lindenwood, and St. Mary's of California. They'll start playing for keeps next Saturday here against Penn State. Kutztown and Life also on the schedule, playing Air Force at Infinity Park in Glendale, Colorado, November 3rd, hosting Navy November 10th. Trinity College Dublin, the oldest continuous rugby club on the planet, playing since 1854. Dublin University Football Club play in Division 1A of the All-Ireland League. The AIL is the national system for the 50 senior clubs in the Republic of Ireland and Northern Ireland. It's also the second highest level of rugby union in Ireland, below the United Rugby Championship. Army is in black, defending the sticks down to the left, which you notice are in a bit of a different place because we're playing at a gridiron football stadium. As Trinity continued to move upfield following what looked like a knock-on, but because it was dropped backwards, it's okay for play to continue. Aiden Henry takes the pass there. You can tell this is not a rugby pitch. The referee has decided to use the red lines, normally associated with soccer, as the boundaries. And it looks like we've got a muff tap there by Oscar Cawley for Trinity, but it looks like he's going to get another chance here. Army must back off following the initial infringement. Hugh O'Kennedy will kick this at a touch. It'll set up a Trinity lineout. Kick time temperature 75 degrees here at West Point. It rained, it thundered, it lit with lightning, and then for about a half hour it didn't do much of anything at all. And then we had some brief raindrops about a half hour ago. I looked at the radar. I'm fairly confident we'll get this in. Good defending the lap by Army. Can it come up with it? Yes, they do. Army with the first big defensive stand of this game. Everybody has eaten their Wheaties for dinner and maybe put some Red Bull on them as well. And a whistle here. As it looks like this one might be going against Army. We've got a knock on here that'll set up a scrum dangerously close to the Army sticks. Army West Point's top priority is to develop leaders prepared to fight for our nation's battles. As the world's preeminent leadership institution, the Academy focuses on producing people who exude trust, accountability, passion, integrity, and empathy. To learn more, visit GoArmyWestPoint.com. And we have a whistle as the referee not pleased with how the scrum is forming. Beauty of rugby is that the front rows have to work together before they can work against each other. Matt Sherman, the Army coach, about playing Trinity College Dublin. Their pace, skill, and physicality will provide us with a difficult challenge to open our season, but an opportunity we relish to test ourselves and grow in the process. It is a rugby scrum part. It's an Army scrum, pardon me, not Trinity. So the knock-on was against Trinity, as the Black Knights will likely try to get rid of it. And we have a whistle. Somebody may have come in from the side or dove in. You can't do that, so Army will have a free kick coming up. So the Black Knights dodge a couple of cannonballs early. Trinity was here 4 years ago, won that match convincingly. Army did not score. It's kept in bounds by Taylor Gleason. High in the sky, it is dropped, it is loose. Not a knock-on since it went backwards. It's Army must scramble in front of their own sticks. For those new to the sport, this is not football, at least on the gridiron. No four-down territory here. Just hang onto the ball and don't make any mistakes. No ball handling errors, which might be tough tonight considering all the wet weather we've had today. And sometimes the best thing to do is to do just that, boot it away. Trinity College Dublin getting into shape here. 4-game preseason tour of the U.S., including wins over Ohio State, Indiana, and Navy. On Saturday, Trinity beat Ohio State 89-3. They also beat Indiana. Tuesday, Trinity beat Navy down in Annapolis 36-14. And the oldest continuous rugby club in the world, playing since 1854. So a lineout coming up for Army. And they secure it well. The ball forms, they try to move. Still nothing here, 5 minutes in. No points on the board yet for either team. This one we put it away is Army. Just trying to play field position right now. Sometimes that's the name of the game. Trinity look like they're in good position, though. Good pass, good quick decisions. Ball comes right to Victor Allen for Trinity, but he gets knocked off. And now Trinity trying to reverse the other way, but Lewis McDonough just got belted. That might have been Tian Mosconi making the tackle. No, pardon me, it was actually Dom Tianga. Those are the two guys counted on to lead this squad for Army. And a good offload there now to John Vincent for Trinity. And we have a whistle. Not releasing the ball. That'll go against Trinity. So far, so good for Army. They've defended well. Now they need possession. A long boot will help them out greatly as they try to set for a line out inside the Trinity half of the field here. This one's booted away. 6.5 in. No points yet, but Army's done a good job so far of taking some punches from Trinity. You can use Twitter to keep up with the latest news information about the Army West Point men's rugby team. The handle is Army WP_M Rugby. Again, Army WP_M Rugby on Twitter. Everybody's got to be patient right now, as the Black Knights might have something here. But again, possession is the name of the game. They look sharper those passes. This one is a long way, and it's ultimately dropped by Gannon Conrad for Army. Kick down the field. It's a live ball. Can Army get there first? They will. Falling on it is Patrick Oglesby. As long as you are even with the ball, this one's charged down. Can Trinity get it? It'll be well out of bounds. This is not the CFL. The end zones don't extend across entire provinces. Yes, we're playing with sort of a makeshift marquee here because this is a gridiron stadium. Shea Stadium is where Army Sprint football team plays, but no, that was not going to be a try. If anything, it looks like NRL, where they have numbers on the lines of the field of play anyway. Of course, there are those who debate whether NRL is really rugby or not. Love the energy from both teams so far, despite being taken way out of the routine. So Army gets a dropout here. Kick it long, they say. Off the foot of O'Kennedy. Hugh O'Kennedy. Yes, you can use that with your foot. Got it to Dermot McCormick. Shifted back on the far side as Trinity continue to mind the store here. Good, quick passes. They look very disciplined and sound when they're handling the ball, especially on a night where it's definitely humid. Good pass inside. It came to Vincent again. Look how quick Trinity's just transitioning. The quickness is going to be a big... Look at that. This one's knocked ahead. It came out of the hands of Zach Baird. For those who don't watch Army very much, for those across the pond, it is very rare that a team comes here to West Point and handles the ball as well as Trinity has so far and is able to transition and make multiple offloads like that. There's a quickness to Trinity's game right now that is not normally seen here at West Point. And I'm almost awestruck by it. This is going to be fun no matter how many points they score. So a scrum coming up for Army. You still have time to buy season ticket memberships for Army football, by the way. Memberships in sections 12 and 13, the Superintendent's Lodge and Hoffman Priority Seating, are not available online. Please contact the Army A Club at 845-938-2322 to order. For information on family value season ticket memberships in the quarter sections, please call 1-877-TIX-ARMY. So they'll try this again. Tian Mosconi, the captain for Army, said Trinity College Dublin will be a great test for us. We are looking forward to the challenge. The focus still remains on our collective climb as a team. The JV Glee Club is in fine form. We have a whistle. This one will go against Army. So Trinity's turn to have a dropout here. This will set up a line out thanks to O'Kennedy. Last time Trinity was down here, they had a chance to score, and Army came with some great defending of the line out. Let's see what Trinity tries this time. Good pass by Barrett. Army defending well again. They have come up big in front of their sticks 3 times already this evening. They can't defend like this forever. But you can tell that the cadets have come very mentally prepared for this challenge. Trinity has done a lot of things right so far tonight. And we have a whistle. And it looks like some infringement has been committed. It looks like it'll be Trinity getting the ball back here. The question becomes, will it be a scrum or are they going to have a kick here? Ball's in Hugh Kennedy's hands. Now he gives it to Oscar Cawley. So Cawley's going to get ready to put this one back in. This is from Wikipedia. This is the official name of the institution, the College of the Holy and Undivided Trinity of Queen Elizabeth near Dublin. Yes, I know that's a mouthful. But here at West Point, we make sure that everything is done correctly and properly. It's the sole constituent college of the University of Dublin. Queen Elizabeth I founded the college in 1592 as the mother of a university that was modeled after collegiate universities of Oxford and Cambridge. However, unlike these affiliated institutions, only one college was established. For practical purposes, Trinity College and University of Dublin are usually synonymous, sort of like West Point and USMA. Trinity is Ireland's oldest university and retains a reputation as a research-intensive center. It's nearly 12,000 undergrads and nearly 5,000 postgraduates. As I'm looking across the way to see if there is an issue with one of the players, I apologize. I'm not seeing what's happening here. Unless there is something that I missed. I thought it was a simple penalty given to Trinity, and there was going to be some kind of either a penalty kick or an immediate scrum. That did not happen here, and it does look like the training staff is finally coming off, so whatever it was, if there was an injured player, it must not have been that badly. As the clock continues to run here, 2 40-minute halves. I imagine there'll probably be some time added on. Was there a substitution? No, there was not. So it looks like we're going to have a scrum here for Trinity again. Deep inside Army territory once more. Cawley gets ready to put the coin into the slot to see what happens with the mechanical bull. The choir's forming chords now. This is good. They're turning the scrum, no whistle. One more pass, it came, good receipt, and able to dive in. Does he get it down? Yes, he does! Aiden Henry gets the game's first points. Quick decisiveness by Trinity. That's been a big part of what we've seen already tonight. It's a small sample size. We've only played 15 minutes. But Trinity is very intentional about what it wants to do and how it wants to do it. Now for Heo Kennedy, this is something he's probably never physically seen before. We are at a gridiron football stadium. Those are goalposts, but not those goalposts. They're about the same size. And he kicked it so far above that near goalpost, they couldn't tell if he got it through or not. They say no. So it's still 5-0. Up for auction is a game-used ball for the Army Men's Soccer win over Air Force 2 weeks ago. Army head coach Brian Plotkin signed it and inscribed it. Proceeds support over 1,000 cadet athletes at West Point. To bid on it, please visit the Twitter account for Army West Point Authentic, AWP_memorabilia. So we've gone beyond the feeling out process. Aiden Henry has the game's only points. How will Army adjust going forward here? They need territory. They need possession. As now we're playing ping pong. Nate Gould back to get it for Army. Gets rid of it. They're playing hot potato right now, which is totally okay, but it goes out of bounds. We'll see where they spot it. Army's claiming they should have possession of it. And it looks like the referee's going to work it all the way back. I did not see anything nefarious that would prompt an advantage, but it will be a line out coming up here for Trinity. Army has defended these well tonight, so Zach Baird has to come up with something different here. I believe that was Jerry Kerr whistling him a secret, and Army is 3 for 3 in defending lineouts. If this keeps up, then there's going to be a big to-do on the flight home to Dublin about what they do about lineouts. Yes, Trinity is leaving for home on Sunday. And this will be kicked out immediately. Army trying to expand its chest cavity. Heo Kennedy passes it now. Here comes Taylor Gleason. He'll kick it nice and high. He is onside because he's the one that kicked it. Army will take a mark. Yes, that's the closest thing to a fair catch from gridiron football you find in rugby. You can call for a mark inside your own 22. There are a couple of those today as Army spent the couple of hours before, well, while they waited out what was going to happen here, they actually watched the New Zealand-France World Cup opener at Stade de France. France won, and I can assure you there were very few, if any, players for Army rooting for New Zealand in that match. We had an official from Trinity, I believe was the school president, coming up here saying, yeah, I can understand why they wouldn't root for New Zealand. We wouldn't either. Hard to imagine, hard to believe that the World Cup of the World Rugby Cup is coming here in 4 years to the States. So they get the line out right this time. This pass is knocked ahead by Victor Allen. Army come up with it and try to move forward. The Black Knights need possession as this one is kicked deep. They'll go chase. Takes an Army bounce. That field's got to be soaked a little bit, but so far so good. Will Toomey hopping along there for Trinity. Back on the far side. Comes now for Kevin Jackson. This one goes astray, but it's picked right back up. It comes now for Henry. Henry gets gang tackled by a one-man wrecking crew. It was Nate Gould, who's been a little bit of everything so far for Army. The good tackling continues. There's much rejoicing in the stands. This one will be put it away. And sliding to make the catch is Matt DeFreitas. He looks to get rid of it. Shuffles it now for Gannon Conrad. He is wrapped up pretty well. Involved in that tackle was Lewis McDonough. Army gets across midfield. Referee says stay on side, team in white. They do. Backward steps are sometimes part of the process in rugby. And we have a whistle. Not releasing, called against Army. So Trinity will get possession again. So we're midway through the first half, only 5-0. Trinity looks sharp, but Army's defended tremendously. This year's Army Sports Hall of Fame induction banquet happens Friday, October 6th. It starts at 6 o'clock at West Point's Eisenhower Hall. To buy individual tickets or reserve a table to 10, visit GoArmyWestPoint.com. For more information, please contact the Army 8 Club at 845-938-2322. So another line out coming up for Trinity. Nice catch made this time. Good movement by Trinity. They're getting down and just pushing and pushing. This is where coaching and taking care of players is so important. We're grateful for the coaches to have these young men trained to play this sport, which is so physically demanding. Shift it back. Army gets possession and will boot it away. The good news is Army is keeping Trinity just to 5 points here. And you get a sense in the stands that maybe the energy is starting to change a bit. But they need possession, the Black Knights. Trinity has hogged the ball here in the first half like a kid that doesn't want to let anybody play with any toys in the sandbox. We have a whistle before the ball is thrown in. As the referee says, we need 2 separate conga lines parallel to each other. We got Coke and Pepsi. Coke and Pepsi. This is Army's first game of the season. Again, Trinity is 3-0 on this American tour. They're getting ready for some high-level competition back home. And this one pops out. Can Army fall on it? They do. And this one is kicked hard, I believe, by Gould again in double coverage potentially. Brought back now by Toomey. It goes without saying that rugby is a religion in Ireland. Here comes Jackson. For Army to still very much be in this match at this stage is great, but they have to find some attack. They need possession. Trinity, there's no official stat here, but I imagine Trinity's had possession for at least 80% so far here in the first 23 minutes of this contest. As the Black Knights continue to be good defensively. Momentum continues to build for the Mikey Stadium Preservation Project. All the suites and proposed east stands have been sold, and so does most of the loge boxes. The Army West Point Athletic Association will have an update on the project after this football season, with an anticipated target opening for the renovated stadium out of the 2026 season. For more information, visit MikeyStadium.com. I reference this again as we have a whistle. This one's going to go against Trinity, I believe, for pulling the maul down. You can't stop the party. You can only rock the party. A reference that people here at West Point will want to hear as they try to gauge how good they're going to be against Navy this year. Navy lost to Trinity 36-14, if memory serves. Navy got seven of those points with the final play of the match. Navy, defending national champion, the title that Army had won the previous year. Navy with a perfect record in their first varsity season. Getting to see bits and pieces of that championship game against Cal, that was a remarkable sight. See Navy winning that title match the way they did. It'll definitely be a lot of fun to see what happens when Army and Navy get together on the rugby pitch this year. Good quick offloads. Again, that's one thing that's happening that most teams that come to West Point just aren't able to do. It's not just the quickness. A good release there, but Toomey drops it. Now it's kicked downfield into the Army bench. Perhaps that time, Trinity was too quick for their own good. And so Army will get possession here. And again, you feel like the pendulum is swinging. Tiana Mosconi gets rid of it for the moment. There's going to be a scrum here as Army. No, pardon me, it's going to be a line out, pardon me. They were setting up for it. It's tossed back in by Ben Richards for Army. As the pushing and shoving continues, as a bit of a dance goes the wrong way. Army, I think, just got away with offsides as it shifted back again. As the Black Knights finally get some traction here. Can they get down towards those sticks to the right? Trinity continue to defend well. They've not had to defend much so far tonight. Good pass now for Conrad. As he'll kick this one down. I think play was blown dead. He might have stepped out. Dom Tianga, vice captain for Army, said, "We have trained and prepared ourselves for the challenges this high-level team will bring and are eager to get the game underway to see how much we have improved in such a short amount of time. I'm confident in the ability of the brothers and the tone we will set for the rest of the season." They're still trailing, but so far so good. I think the final score 4 years ago when Trinity was here was 48 or 49-0. Oscar Cawley gets ready to put the coin back into the slot here. The referee, I think, wants to have conversations with both front rows to make sure that they are willing dance partners when this begins. I am sure that the brand of rugby here is very different to Trinity than it is in Ireland. It's not just cultural, it's also how the game's officiated. And we have a whistle. And this one is going to go against Army. McDonough. This one is floated. Live ball. Can Army come up with it? They do. And it'll be out of bounds. The man in green does not have to be Nigel Owens, but he has to make sure these players are playing the game properly and safely. Keep in mind that Army West Point athletes are not just cadet athletes, but also Warrior scholars. Army represents Warrior and West Point represents Scholar. To separate them would take away the purpose of the U.S. Military Academy. They come together as one to outsmart the enemy. Another line out for Trinity. Army again has defended these well tonight. Better pass this time. Vincent came down with it. Shifted quickly. McDonough tried to find a lane. They're still going as they're now about 20 away. Shifted on the far side. Is there an opening? Is he in? Signal is given, yes. Believe that was Will Toomey that got it down at the end. And Trinity now leads 10-0 with approximately 12 minutes left here in the opening half. So that time, Trinity was able to do what they wanted. Again, the quickness. Just the sheer quickness of that team here at West Point is something I have rarely seen from an opponent over the years. So now the conversion will come, and I believe that is O'Kennedy back there. Bad news is it looks like he may as well be kicking from Ireland. He's a bit of a long ways away. Remember, it's where it's dotted down, and that time it was right in the corner of the in-goal area. He's 0 for 2. But he has not had easy kicks tonight. It's still 10-0. People who follow this place carefully may recall that when we had that millennial flood, the rugby programs had to band together to protect what was theirs. Flash flooding in July destroyed the turf field adjacent to the Warrior Field at Anderson Rugby Complex. Now, we're not there tonight because of the rain today, but it was the last thing that Matt Sherman wanted to see today with Trinity in town, to see more and more rain coming in. A landslide covered the drainage in part of Warrior Field, causing flooding there and toward the complex. So, well, it doesn't look like this one is going to go anywhere. It's got to go 10 meters. Coaches, players, athletic interns, officer representatives literally ran down to Anderson Rugby Complex because the roads had already started to close. This was back in July when we had all that horrible rain. The cadets and other people built dams literally by hand to redirect 2 flows of water away from the field of the complex. Now, I got a good look at the turf field today. It's definitely gone. It's physically still there, but they're not going to use it again. It was covered with water, rocks, trees, soot, in some places 8 feet high. One player said, well, maybe we'll have a new turf field when the next academic year begins. Maybe something will happen during the spring to get the process started, but for now, they can't do anything there. But that was scary for everybody. As the referee having a conversation with Army's front rows, that lead me to believe that they're the ones more responsible for that scrum not forming properly. There have been a couple of instances where we've had the ref mic'd up here at West Point. We don't have that tonight. But, boy, to be a fly on the wall in that scrum right now between a service academy here in the States and the oldest rugby entity on the planet. We're learning a lot tonight. But I think those men are going to learn more than any of us. The scrum falls apart, and a tremendous hit that time on Cawley by one of the Black Knights, but he was able to just get rid of it. Let the bodies hit the floor as somebody came offside from inside. And so this one will go against Army. There, somebody came in from the side. Let the bodies hit the floor. No drowning pool necessary. We don't need a pool right now. We've got plenty of water everywhere. This one will be kicked further downfield. So Trinity will get back to work here with about 8 minutes left in the opening half. Tries by Henry, and we think Toomey have them in front 10-0. So let's see what happens here now. Bit of a discussion is whoever's tossing it back in for Trinity here. This lineout is just making sure the ball is dry, and looks like the referee's having a conversation with somebody, perhaps for Army. As long as the voice is calm. As I look now to my right, we do have a player who's needing some attention. There might be a cramp for one of the Trinity players. It's about, well, we don't want to use this term in rugby because we know that it's not often used, but it's a gridiron football pitch. He was on the 30-yard line. John Vincent gets back up. So lineup coming up again as Baird tossed it back in, batted away, gets it back though. Not a knock on, which leads to believe that somebody from Army had batted it back into him. And Army come up with it again. Army's defending is not an issue. They need to get down to the other end of the field, as this one will be caught by O'Kennedy. Lifts it to Gleason. The reverses now. And a great tackle made on the near side. Jackson looks to get rid of it. It comes down to Toomey. Jackson. Now for Henry. He's met by a black wall. O'Kennedy. Now the near side is, I think that was Kerr getting taken down. O'Kennedy tries to the street one off somebody's head and Army able to kick it away. They're going to call a knock on, though, just shy of midfield. Army scrum coming up with 5.5 left in the opening half. Still 10-0 Trinity on tries by Henry and we think Toomey. You can now buy single game tickets for the upcoming Army hockey season as well as full season tickets, mini plans, and group tickets. Visit GoArmyWestPoint.com for more details and to make purchases. Stay tuned in the weeks ahead for more information on unique game day experience options, including youth team plans. To request new Rinkside season tickets, please call the RBA Club at 845-938-2322. I'm sorry, I thought it was a knock-on against Trinity. It may have been something that happened before. Maybe Army got a hand on it, went forward, but it's a kick given instead to Trinity. They get it downfield, so there'll be a line-out coming up again inside the 22. And remember the referee saying, we're going to have the 20-yard lines basically service the 22, and that's going to be the end of it. They're using the red lines normally reserved for soccer. They don't play much soccer on this field. It's generally for sprint football and track and field. So the ball forms, and let's see what Trinity has planned here. Good distribution by Coley. Chipped. Beautiful play. Yes, he's in. Believe it's Taylor Gleason that caught the kick and rolled in. And Trinity puts on 5 more. They need 15-0. Again, the sheer quickness of Trinity is something that is very rarely seen in American collegiate rugby. Just a tremendous play. High skill play there. Well, here comes Hugh Kennedy. The good news is he doesn't have to try to attempt a conversion from some island or something. It's right in front of him. But yes, he's probably never seen those sticks before. That time, it's good. Don't know if he pretended he was at Croker and it was at playing Gaelic football, just get over the bar, but that time, it worked. And so, Trinity is now in front, 17-0 with 3 minutes left here in the opening half. Check out the official online store of Army West Point. You browse the complete selection of officially licensed apparel merchandise by visiting shop.goarmysports.com. Again, shop.goarmysports.com. Put back in on the near side as Trinity get rid of it again. Johnny Haley had it booted, but because, let's see if they whistle a knock on, they ultimately will. So scrum coming up for Trinity. For those new to the sport, the time you see on the clock, there's no siren that sounds that instantly ends the half. It's up to the referee's watch on the field, and as long as the team has possession after the 40 minutes are up, they can theoretically do what they want with it. They can't go on forever. But we know we're getting towards the end of the first half here. And we have a whistle. We'll see if Trinity gets another chance here, as the scrum was starting to turn like a spider. Oscar Cawley will try again, as the referee now having conversations with both front rows, this time with Trinity.
Let's go, Shane!
They bind with authority. The turn continues, but not enough to warrant a whistle. Cawley on the far side. Nothing wrong with the way Army has tackled here. Their defending has actually been pretty good. The problem is the ball's been down at their end of the field for almost the entirety of the first half. Comes to Vincent, who tries to power his way through. Gleason offloads well to the far side. Trinity looking to score again. They're close, but not close enough. It was on the deck briefly, and I think somebody's getting whistled for a knock-on. Army dodges another cannonball. So the clock's about to run out here, but I'm suspecting that there'll be one final play here. The referee will be the one that has the ability to say when they can switch ends. Army's given a great effort, but again, they have not had the ball down in front of the Trinity sticks much. This one kicked down the near side. Let's see if there's time for one more kick. No, there's not. And the referee says that's enough. Army with a great effort, but Trinity have shown their class here. Tries by Aiden Henry, Will Toomey, and Taylor Gleason. Hugo Kennedy finally got a placement on a try they'd like for a conversion. That's how we add up to 17. The visitors from Dublin showing the world class here at Shea Stadium tonight. We will be back for the second half here on YouTube.
So yeah, USAA, they always have my back.
USAA? You were in the military?
Oh no, I wasn't, but my grandpa was. He joined USAA, passed membership to my mom, then to me.
There's other ways to get in?
Yeah. My neighbor Ron, he's in because his wife served. Even little Luna, once she's born, her dad served.
So all this time I could have had USAA insurance.
And banking.
Where's my phone?
Over there.
USAA, for the military community and their families.
When pain wants to keep you on the sidelines, know you have options to keep you doing what you love. As one of the world's leading medical technology companies, Stryker offers innovative foot and ankle products that help you get back in the game and on your feet. Stryker and Army West Point Athletics have joined forces to help you learn more about foot and ankle pain and provide you resources so you can find a specialist in your area. Visit Stryker.com/WestPoint to learn more.
Attention veterans. You can shop tax-free for life. Come home to your military exchanges for tax-free shopping, exclusive pricing, and free shipping options. 100% of earnings go back to military communities, keeping today's military ready and resilient. You served. You sacrificed. You earned this benefit. Visit shopmyexchange.com/vets to shop and save today.
At the United States Military Academy, you're on the team from day one.
A team where people are the #1 priority and winning matters.
A team of scholars, athletes, and leaders, each striving to become all that they can be.
Are you ready to join our team?
West Point, where leaders are made.
USAA? Yeah. They have awesome rates on coverage for our car, home, and stuff. She has a lot of stuff.
Dad.
A lot of cool stuff, honey. But USAA also has banking, credit cards, and loans. Plus advice and other perks.
Only for emergencies.
Thanks, Mom.
And it's all in one spot. So we know she's all set because we've got USAA.
USAA, more than you might think, for the military community and their families.
He may not turn out to be a black belt or play Carnegie Hall.
He'll take the chicken fingers.
But with the money you earn from your Penn-Fed checking and savings accounts,
He's growing up. Look at him.
your goal of supporting his dreams will always be worth it.
I got it.
PenFed's got great rates for everyone.
Welcome back to Shea Stadium. Yes, we're at the Sprint Football and Track Facility. Anderson Rugby Complex not in great shape to have the game tonight after some horrific rain here this afternoon, and there was actually quite a bit of it last night. It caused a women's soccer game between Army and Air Force to be late about 90 minutes with a half hour left. So we didn't leave until pretty late last night, and then this match was supposed to start at 6 o'clock Eastern. Ended up being moved here. We thought it might start at 7, and then they said, now let's wait 2 hours to get the game in without any eruption. And, well, we had a very limited halftime. No extravaganza, as this will be touched out of bounds by Oglesby. So it looks like we're trying to get this game in as quickly as possible. Based on the radar I have, that should not be an issue. As I look right now, there is nothing behind us, so we should be okay. So because that kickoff rolled away from everybody, we're going to have a scrum here for Trinity at midfield. Army needs possession. Fear is not the issue. Lack of physicality not the issue. Trinity is just that more skilled right now, and something you would expect given the fact that it really is a big part of their identity over there. So they'll try it again here. Look at those guys breathing heavy. They just played 40 minutes of rugby, and now they're going to play 40 more. You can still buy single-game tickets for Army football. Many plans, group sales, season tickets, and premium tailgates as well. For more information, visit GoArmyWestPoint.com/tickets. To learn more about the season's promotional days and other game day activities at Mikey Stadium, visit ArmyGameDay.com. This one is kicked on the ground. Yes, you can move with it. You can pick it up. You can do that. Just can't throw it overhand. Beautiful part about this sport is you can have all 15 guys in the field touch that ball. And usually everybody has to in order to produce a score. Trinity in good position when Army makes a move here. It'll stay in play, so Trinity gets another chance here. Gleason gets this one long down the field, but it hangs up a little bit in the humid air. It'll go out of bounds. So Army will get another chance here in the attacking half, something they did not see much of in that first half because Trinity was so good with that ball. I'm probably starting to sound like a broken record, but it's rare that a team comes to West Point and moves the ball so quickly the way that Trinity did in the first half. That's a main difference between collegiate rugby here in the States and playing at a high level of rugby in Ireland, where, again, Ireland, rugby is a major sport over there. Almost everybody plays it. We have a whistle. This one to go against Trinity once more. Somebody may have dove in. So Army's going to get a free kick here, and they'll set up for a line out once the ball goes out of bounds. We'll see where the assistant spots it. I was not part of the discussions with the officials and the teams before the game. My guess is the try line is the goal line that you see here for football. Again, they don't normally play rugby. I can't recall a rugby team playing a game here since they built Anderson Rugby Complex. Bit of an unusual situation, to say the least. Army continuing to move, trying to do something they did not do against Trinity 4 years ago, and that's score. Trinity won that game 4 years ago, I want to say 48 or 49-0. And now we have a whistle. It looks like this one will be going against Army. Remember that competing as varsity athletes helps cadets learn how to win on the battlefield. Athletics instills tenacity, resilience, discipline, mental and physical toughness, and the desire to excel. Grit, perseverance are the same things that build winning platoon leaders and company commanders when cadets graduate. So a scrum here for Trinity. We'll see if they take a conservative approach and try to boot it out once they get possession, or if they decide to go for a bit of a run here. Now we have a whistle. Looks like somebody might have pulled down the scrum, so Trinity will get it back here. A lot of people may not realize that Pete Dawkins, legendary Army football player, contributed to rugby. As this one will be kicked down the distance. Another lineup coming up for Trinity. Years and years ago, when Dawkins left the academy to go to Oxford, he joined the rugby team, and he did something unusual that caused people to believe that there was insanity. It was frowned upon initially, but he had the overhand line out. They called it the torpedo. People did not realize that while he was a running back at West Point, he was recruited as a quarterback. So when he went to rugby, he was able to show off that arm of his. Back to midfield, Army will come as Trinity in good position again. Everybody working hard right now. And it looks like we've got some substitutions for the first time tonight. Dylan Ryan, Gwen Coyle, and Cormac King are coming in for Trinity. Now let's see who comes off. Everybody gets 8 spares. So 6.5 minutes into the second half, we have our first moves of the contest. Oscar Cawley's come off. So is Hugh Kennedy. And I believe that's Kevin Jackson doing the same. O'Kennedy, 1 for 3 on conversions this evening. The 2 that he missed were not his fault. Those would have been tough kicks even if there were sticks that look like what they have back home. And this one's going against Trinity's Army. You feel like the energy is starting to change. I think it would take something significant to reverse the score line at this point, but Army appears to have found some momentum here in the second half. So Army get a free kick here, see how far they can get it down. They'll make some progress here. You get a sense somebody's have to come up with a big individual effort or a bang-bang play to get by Trinity, which when they've had to defend tonight have been very, very good. Big juncture of the game is Army trying to get close here. Good catch is made. Now can they advance it? Trinity doing a good job of clogging up the middle there. Nice pass. It's taken and brought back quickly. On the left side they come. Army is going to score on Trinity. Was that Nate Gould that took the pass? Nate Gould has scored for Army, something they failed to do 4 years ago when Trinity was here. The Black Knights are back in the match. Just like that, lightning strikes. Thankfully not on the field. It's now 17-5 with a half hour left. And that brings some energy into Shea Stadium. You know how it feels when the host nation scores a goal in the World Cup and they're not known as a soccer power or a rugby nation? That's kind of what's happened here. I believe that's Johnny Haley trying a conversion. Small problem, though. He's been left marooned on Guam because of where Gould dotted down. This is a big kick for a couple of reasons. Army trying to get within 10. There's a difference between 10 and 12, obviously. It's coming back. It's good! The tank is filled with petrol. Army down by just 10 with a half hour left. Don't turn off your computer just yet. You can place your deposit now for new Army basketball season tickets. Full schedules will follow shortly. Final payments due in October. Visit CarboWestPoint.com/tickets for a new era at Crystal Arena. Season ticket renewals for basketball will also happen shortly with the full schedule releases. So let's see what happens now. The energy has changed quite a bit. How will Trinity respond to being scored upon here? They're in pretty good shape. Didn't have much reason to break a sweat until just now. And this one's nice and high in the air. It'll end up being a line-out coming up for Trinity just across midfield. Army has defended these well all evening. If they can do it again here, that's just going to cause more momentum for them. Gerhard Zudnek is now into the game for Trinity, offering some advice before this one's tossed back in. And a big hit on McDonough as Trinity continues looking to get those points back. Tremendous pass made to Vincent, who's trying to take a couple of guys with him. Comes now for Gleason, and he just got rocked. And I'm going to say high tackle. Quick restart. Brought back quickly. Trinity trying to get back. Do they dot down? Yes, they do. Quinn Doyle did a lot of the running there, offloaded it to somebody else. As I'm looking to see who ultimately got the finishing touch on that one. Was it Gleason again? I don't think it was. As I'm looking to make sure we get this right, it looks like it was Dermot McCormick, number 8. For those new to the sport, his position is number 8. He has answered the Army try, and Army's ability to come all the way back may have just dimmed a bit. With Hugh Kennedy back to the bench for the duration, it'll be Cormac King attempting the conversion here. And that one would have been good if the sticks were back in Ireland. I saw both flags go up, so I assumed that that one went in. And the score is now 24-7. So the Black Knights have to get back to work quickly. A lot to like about their effort. Trinity continues showing instead as a world powerhouse at its level. This one is going to be kicked towards the bleachers, but it won't get there. Army fans shouldn't have to work hard to find other Army fans. You can use Facebook to connect with fellow supporters of the Black Knights while keeping up to date with athletic events on post. Check it out at Go Army West Point. Again, Go Army West Point on Facebook. A little over half hour left. What can Army learn from Trinity here that might help them later? Sometimes it's not the longest pass, but the quick one. And looks like we've got a knock on here again, so things will stop again. There's not much flow to things right now, and I think that hurts Army more than it helps them because they're the team trailing. Looks like we've got new players coming in for Army. Charlie Rowling and Gabe Savage are coming in. And the two men coming off will get a nice hand. Looks like Shane Sunday is off. And so is Bill Bolt. New props. Matt Sherman is ordering. Trinity works that out well. Great quickness off the scrum here. This one kicked nice and high by King. Goes off potential the chin of Johnny Haley, but he's got it again. This one's charged out. This might be a free lunch for Trinity, but they got to keep it in bounds. But it's recovered and done it, I think, by Oglesby. Tremendous defending, never gave up on it. Put a circle around that one if Army gets the next score and makes this game, at the very least, interesting. That has been tremendous defending. Army's defending tonight. Forget the score for a second. There's nothing wrong with how well they have defended here. That could have ended badly, and for all intents and purposes, competitively, that would have been the game had Trinity scored there. So we've got a scrum coming up for Trinity. About 5 away from putting more points on the board. Army has to be quick off the line if they can't recover the scrum. No signal yet from the man in green. Shift it back. On the left side they come, but no signal yet. Trinity knocking on the door, needs to try the doorbell. The referee says, nope, you're not in yet. Hook back quickly. No signal yet, although a good pass there by Doyle. Still nothing. Army defending like crazy, trying to keep the game manageable. Wong back out left side, maybe one more pass. No, there isn't, as diving in will be Will Toomey. I believe that's his second try of the match. And as far as a win-loss goes, that should probably do it. Trinity is now up 29-7. I think that's his second of the evening. You make good decisions. You find an opening. There was somebody else on the far side. I want to say it was King. But there was somebody else open, and he said, I'll do it myself. Cormac King back to kick again here. His first conversion hasn't landed yet. Bit of a different angle here. International rugby, they normally have a sign on the scoreboard that says respect the kicker. So whether it's the home team or the road team, it's usually very quiet in the stadium when he's getting ready to line up. Makes that one, and it's now 31-7. Army West Point Director of Athletics Mike Buddy has announced a strategic plan called Fruits of Victory. This plan seeks to provide cadet athletes the opportunity to succeed as students and as athletes while molding them into exceptional leaders and officers in the U.S. Army. For more information on the Fruits of Victory, please visit GoArmyWestPoint.com. Believe Johnny Haley has just come off the field for Army as Matt Sherman continues going through his Rolodex. Believe that's Austin Londa who's checked into the game for Army. As will be put it away by King once more. Here's Londo. He says, I don't want it. Gets it away from Gleason, who is charging in. And right now, he and King are having a catch. This one is much higher. And just keeping it in bounds. The Black Knights once more. This one's going to go over the head of King, but he'll track it down. And he'll walk it like he's got the dog out for a stroll and then tap it down at his in-goal area. Midway through the second half, 31-7, Trinity in front of Army. By comparison, because people here at West Point care about this sort of thing, Trinity beat Navy on Tuesday 36-14. So a slightly greater margin of victory here for Trinity as opposed to what happened in Annapolis. Again, getting to midfield, just trying to stay competitive and work on the things they'll need when Penn State comes here next week. Penn State is regarded as one of the better men's rugby programs in the country. Almost charged down, just getting it away is King, but it comes right back to Army. And a good, wait a second. Nope. Vincent was on it, but the tackle was a bit low. Well, it was Dom Tianga that got his legs cut out there. No, pardon me, it was actually Tion Mosconi. He looks like he's fine. You certainly see high tackles called. That's a simple signal by the referee, but that time they called it clipping in American football. You can't go after somebody's legs like that. So Army will advance it on the free kick here and line up for a line out here. You get a sense if they score again, the bleachers down to the left will erupt. Goes over ahead, and Trinity trying to pick it up and get it out of harm's way quickly. But Army aggressively looking for that ball, and looks like we've got a bit of a shove. And a shot is given. Was that Dermot McCormick? And now we've got a problem here. And you're hoping right now that a long evening, despite all the stress and being knocked out of the routine, we're hoping that some cooler heads will prevail here. Thankfully, order has been restored for now. Deep breath, everybody, as Dermot McCormick will get ready to boot this one back into play. And it looks like the referee wants each captain to have a conversation. Probably saying the same thing that Nigel Owens would say in this situation. We've had a wonderful game of rugby. I'm not going to let anybody spoil this, last minute or not. We still got a ways to go here. It's a lot to learn. Both teams have given a lot this evening. We've seen Trinity's class. We've seen their precision. We've seen their quickness. Army has not quit by any stretch. Their defending has been great despite the fact they've given up 31 points. The will has been there. The possession has not. And there's somebody down on the far side for Army who's getting some attention as some stretching will continue. You can bid on an authentic Army football jersey just like the one the Black Knights wore against ULM last week. Proceeds will support over 1,000 cadet athletes at West Point. To bid on it, please visit the Twitter account for Army West Point Authentic, AWP_memorabilia. Again, Army will have Penn State here next Saturday. Kutztown and Life are also on the schedule. There's no American institution of higher learning that depends more on its rugby programs than Life University in Georgia. Again, these are dates to circle. Army will play Air Force at Infinity Park in Glendale, Colorado, November 3rd, and then host Navy November 10th in what is probably going to feel like the biggest revenge game against Navy in program history. So it looks like we're set to resume action. Let's see what kind of tenor, tone, and temperament we've got here. This one's just booted up high, so that'll give everybody another chance to let the blood flow back in. Connell Henchy gets ready to toss this one in. Army defends it well again. That is the one part of their game they've had good tonight. They've been able to defend the lineouts well. They've been able to do well with scrums. It's just a matter of the high skill level that Trinity has shown here with those quick passes. Just the timeliness of everything. And this one's going to go against Army for not releasing. Trinity continues making progress, but it skips out. It comes to Henchy. Tries to get rid of it, and it ultimately comes to Zadunek. Good fake now. It's ultimately given to Gleason. Run along the left side. It's McDonough. McDonough looks to shift off one more time as Trinity looking for another serving of the salad bar. 14 minutes left before it closes. They've put out the chunky blue cheese. Is that available in Ireland or not? I'm not sure. I've never been there. Shifted now. In close. 5 to go. They're getting closer. Referee says not yet. We have a whistle. And somebody is down for Army. 13.5 is left. We know this is a sport of carnage. Again, we are grateful for all the coaches around the world that train these young men and young ladies properly to meet the demands of the sport. Scrums are some of the most unnatural positions of the human body, and they tell me now it's Tian Mosconi. Hopefully he's okay for Army. They cannot afford to lose him. Mosconi is the team captain. He said it'll be a great test. The score line is not inspiring, but I wouldn't say they failed that test tonight. They've shown that they are prepared to work hard this season, as they have every night. The referee getting ready to start action again, and he has a brief conversation. Tremendously fast offload, and that's going to lead to another score for Trinity. That was lightning fast. Now you see it, now you don't. As Trinity puts 5 more points on the board. I can't even tell you who got that when it was that fast. We'll try to cue it up again because I want to make sure that everybody gets it correct. We want to make sure we have everything right here. It'll be Cormac King with another conversion attempt here. He's 2 for 2 since coming into the game. This one should be pretty simple and straightforward. Booms that one. The scoreboard says hello to the ball as it goes by. As it's now 38-7 with just over 11 minutes left. It might have been Gerhard Zadunek, number 17, that got the last one. He's played hard since coming in. We'll give it to him unofficially for now. What I've got, Toomey with 2, McCormick, Henry, Gleason, and now Zadunek. Gould has the try for Army. King gets this one away again. Booted back as Army's just looking for field position right now. They're not going to call the knock on right now as they keep the game moving. Army looking for one more score here. Referee says the play on is Army will maintain possession. Blinking right and turning left, as is a chance here. Good offload is Army. The crescendo is building. It looks over the left side. It's kicked along, which means play can continue. There's a shoulder out of bounds. You're supposed to not use the shoulder in that instance. And we'll see how the referee draws this one up with 9.5 left. Looks like a knock-on has been called, and so there'll be a scrum about 15 yards to the Trinity end goal. More substitutions taking place as both coaches trying to get their men in. I would say the game is probably decided at this point, but the effort is going to continue. Black Knight Buddies make up the official kids club of Army West Point Athletics. Open to kids 13 and under with family-friendly benefits aimed to please all ages. For more information, please visit goarmywestpoint.com/tickets and click on the Black Knight Buddies button. So another scrum coming up here for Trinity. Every scrum is an opportunity to just get better and better at this. Tap, and here we go. McDonough gets forward. Almost charged on him and partially blocked as King just got that one away. Army secures. Can they turn the tank around and get one more score here? This is on the ground. It's a live ball. Everybody was onside. And sliding to rescue it is King. That's what your back is supposed to do. This one might have been deflected as well, or maybe they just wanted to get away with it. An odd angle out of bounds as King was certainly feeling the pressure as the Black Knights are still contesting every possible ball at this stage of the match. The athletic department of the U.S. Military Academy has its own Twitter account. Follow Go Army West Point for latest information on Black Knight teams, as well as highlights and content you won't find anywhere else. Again, Go Army West Point on Twitter. So this will be kicked into touch. Another lineout coming up for Trinity. Again, they are leaving on Sunday. We're grateful that we got this match in tonight. There was not going to be a window tomorrow because of the Army-Delaware State game starting at noon. I said, can you have them play at 0900? They say, no, Nick, we can't do that. Can't play tomorrow night because the Army women's team has its home opener against Dartmouth. That's at 7 o'clock. So Anderson Rugby Complex was going to be occupied anyway, and we have a whistle, as this one might have been knocked ahead. So they're resuming a scrum again right near that Athena Shield logo. The College Rugby Association of America remains committed to creating the best possible experience for student athletes, keeping commercial resources in the collegiate game, and creating experiences for our members to engage their academic institutions and alumni. To learn more about the CRAA, visit its website, craa.rugby. Again, craa.rugby. Very grateful to have seen so many great rugby teams and players in Houston in May. Army was able to finish third in the men's sevens competition. Everybody working hard just to be around so many people who love the sport this much as trying to come forward as Gould again. And the referee finally blows the whistle and says, I saw it knocked ahead. The release was not cleaned down in the basement, so they stopped play again with 5 minutes left. So one more scrum coming up here for Trinity. Army has shown willingness and willfulness in the contact area tonight. It's been beyond that where Trinity has made its bones. Good pass made by Doyle as things start up again for Trinity. Up to midfield, we have a whistle, and the referee wants it brought back. And we got more pushing and shoving. And trying to keep the peace right now for Trinity, I think, is Connor Cagney. I think the referee right now is trying to tell everybody in white, knock it off, as he has a conversation with Durbin McCormick. It's been intense. We'll say that much. It's been spirited. That's okay. Army will get back up here. Good wrap up there by Henry. The driving continues with 3.5 left. They play to the whistle around here. That is the expectation of every cadet athlete. All 1,000 plus. Especially those getting together at noon at Mikey Stadium tomorrow. So Trinity will take over and get it downfield quickly. Right now it's hot potato. King will distribute now as he got it for McCormick. McCormick doesn't want to come off that field. He's been able to do everything tonight. King kicks this one high again. Army just trying to go forward, but they can't. Great pressure by Trinity here at the end of the game. They're up by 31. You wouldn't know it. Two well-coached teams that are giving their all until the last breath on that clock. The score line may not, well, yeah, the score line will tell you it was not a competitive game, and on many levels it wasn't. But I hope that it's been worth the wait. Because we're finally going to get out of here about 3 hours later than we thought we would, but I think it's been worth the evening spent here in the press box as we waited for the rain to subside enough for this match to take place without interruption in its entirety. Again, Army opens its full regular season on Saturday next week with a game against Penn State at noon. And a reminder, the women take on Dartmouth tomorrow at 7 o'clock. Hopefully Anderson Rugby Complex. So there's one final scrum potentially here as we get down to the last 90. Again, the referee has the final say on when to ring the dinner bell. Up the field they come. Good wrap up there by McDonough again. Rugby is meant to be chaotic. There's been lots of chaos this evening. We have reached the last of the 80, we think. Lucas Perez tries to get this ball away, kicks it nice and high. It's a live ball. Punched away, it's juggled. It ultimately got to Gleason. It bounced off his chest. And now trying to get it back once more. Kick downfield by King. 30 seconds left. Mark taken. You can do that inside your 22. Trinity is going to go 4-0 on this American trip. They had victories against Ohio State and Indiana that were definitely expected. They thought that Navy and Army would both be tougher games. They have been. But you can see the beauty of a tradition that dates all the way back to 1854. I hope we don't have 4 more years before they come back. But I also know it's expensive to come here. Would love to see Army go over to Ireland to play teams like Trinity, but I know that would be over the moon for everybody too. And someone's been given a yellow card, I think, right at the end of the game. I thought I saw a card come out. So Army's going to finish this one with 14. This one will be kicked into touch. And we'll see if that's the last kick of the match. Gabe Savage with the one who has been booked. He will sit the rest of this game on the bench as Army is a man down. Bonus ball at the pinball machine for Trinity here. We have a whistle knock on. Let's see if that's the final play of this match. Referee is looking around, instructing, saying I've got some time left on my watch, gentlemen. Let's have one more scrum here. Looks like it'll be an Army scrum to finish things off here. Let's see if Army can get one big play here to make the scoreline look a little bit more like the one against that Trinity had against Navy. Navy had a last-second try against Trinity down in Annapolis on Tuesday. Good passes, comes to Oglesby, who stays in bounds, tries to come back the far side, gets wrapped up around where the 22 would normally be, but that's not happening tonight. Now we've got what looks like the end of a brawl in a pub spilling out into the street. That's okay. We're getting towards the end. A lot of fun in Army. Might have a chance down the far side. Just keep it moving. As long as you don't commit an infringement, the game can continue. Get one more score here. Wait a second. We've got a knock on it, looks like. Is that the game? Yes, it is. Trinity College Dublin shows their world class as a rugby program and defeats Army tonight by a score of 38-7. Trinity College Dublin will go home 4-0 after wins over Ohio State, Indiana, Navy, and now Army. Army will have its true regular season opener next week on Saturday at noon against Penn State. The Army women have their home opener tomorrow against Dartmouth at 7 o'clock. We think for Trinity, tries scored, 2 of them by Will Toomey, as well as Dermot McCormick, Aiden Henry, Taylor Gleason, Gerard Zudnek. Cormac King going 3 for 3 in conversions. Hugh O'Kennedy 1 for 3. Army gets a try from Nate Gould and a conversion from Johnny Haley. I think that's all the bookkeeping necessary. I want to thank Ryan Panty, firstly, the Assistant Director for Live Events for Army West Point Athletics. He has been here all day, and I thought I was going to have to talk him into streaming this game tonight because he's got a long day tomorrow. We didn't know what the weather was going to be like. Grateful for his ingenuity in helping bring this broadcast to you together. He's the silent partner in all this. For our Army West Point camera crew, I'm Nikolai Busko. Thanks for joining us here on YouTube. Have yourselves a great night wherever you are around the world, just around the corner. Thanks for being with us for this great night of rugby.